I'm lost in darkness, searching for light. Every step forward feels like a fight. Shadows of doubt creep in my mind, but I refuse to surrender. I must find a way to rise above the pain, to overcome, to break the chains. My existence is a test of will. I won't be broken, I'll stand still. The weight of the world crushes me down. Fear and uncertainty all around. But I deep find inner strength to face the trials length by length. A way to rise above the pain, to overcome, to break the chains. My existence is a test of will. I won't be broken, I'll stand still. Through every storm, I'll find my way. Through every night, a brighter day. I'll rise from ashes, like a phoenix born. My spirit unbroken, my heart reborn. I've walked day, nothing changes. All I want is a moment to think clearly, but thoughts come unrelenting, consuming every waking moment. My mind binds me and I can't escape. I shout for help when no one hears me. One day I feel I'll just disappear. Lost in this chaos, I'm so.
But I'm not gonna find that shit doing Dirt Sheet Radio every fucking week. What's up, everybody? It's John Escudero, and I'm here with the guys to talk about AEW Dynamite. Hey, Stinky Bojangles, thank you for joining us. Damn right, it was a banger. I thought Dynamite went crazy tonight. Fellas, introduce yourself, say hi to everybody, let them know what's up.
I'll go first then. It's your boy Robbie coming back for another night. Also want to give out as well thanks to the fans as well for understanding the absence I've had as of late, missing out on the last WCW podcast with Neek and Mac as well, and as well with wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, for everybody celebrating the holidays as we get into the AEW Dynamite Holiday Bash.
And as always, guys, I'm here hanging out with these guys. I am Caesar. I'm one of the boys sitting down watching and talking about AEW Dynamite. And of course, like he said, I'll make it easier. Happy holidays, guys. I hope you're doing well.
Happy holidays, all the holidays. I love the holidays. I know people can get jaded as we get older. I try to make it a point not to. I just love them. That's how you can see, obviously, around me. It's all Christmassy. I love that shit. And we're here for a holiday bash tonight on Dynamite. No Nick this week. Nick is resting. Thankfully, I'm taking his place. The Overlord. These guys are cool. Maybe one day I can join you. Actually, no. We have a Nick already.
We have an actual good Nick. So
I don't want you in here, stranger. Yeah. Hey, man, let's talk about Holiday Bash. Let's talk about that banger-ass Dynamite. As we usually do, we kick this off with the main event. We can talk about that six-man tag match. The Death Riders, Jon Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, and Pac taking on the Team AEW de facto. Who can they coexist? Hangman, Orange Cassidy, and Jay White.
White.
Hangman Hangman abandoned them about 5 minutes in. he he did make his way back out at the end, too little, too late. Honestly, fellas, I'm using Hulu and I use Hulu TV and I rewinded the damn thing, and so when the time came for the show to end on the programming schedule, it jumped ahead to this moment right here,
Oh,
and I
really?
can hear the Death Riders music, so I know they won, but I don't know how. So, what was the finish on that?
So basically, what the finish was is it ended with Hangman, Jay White, and Orange Cassidy. They're all arguing, especially right after the missed buckshot off of Hangman
Yep.
because he was aiming for Orange Cassidy and he hit Wheeler. As they were arguing, Orange Cassidy comes up to help. Moxley comes in, sneaks in, gets the roll up.
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Death Riders win.
That's how it finished.
That makes sense. And then when I cut back, they were surrounded, not really, but kind of. And thankfully they were, so they were able to fight them off on this night and stand tall to close the show. What do you guys think of the world title scene headed into World's End after this Dynamite main event segment? Robbie, let me know.
For me, honestly, this is basically your top 3 contenders. As we know that Orange ended up losing at Full Gear to Moxley. Definitely need a rematch off of that. And also, when it comes to Hangman and Jay White, what they've been able to do as of late, all summer long, Hangman and Jay White are both 2 wonderful contenders for this championship. What a way to intertwine these storylines you have between Mox and Orange, Jay and Hangman, and the AEW and Death Rider storyline by doing this. Honestly, we all know that tonight was definitely going to be one of these things where Death Riders had to win at this point. We don't want to make Moxley look weak unless you want to go ahead and just have Wheeler or even Pac get pinned. But then again, that would diminish what the faction's all about. So going into this, I think these are the right 3 contenders in for this match. Orange wants revenge. Jay wants to finally get a title in AEW. Hangman wants his title back. So honestly, I feel like that these are the 3 competitors that should be facing at World's End for the title, just for simply storytelling wise and logic, and through as well what they've been able to do for the past year and a half this year for AEW.
Uh-oh.
Oh, John, we can
Wait. That's exactly what I meant to do. See, I was practicing my miming. Caesar, what did you think of Dynamite? The main event?
Honestly, that was an awesome match with the 3 of them. My only problem was at one point I got lost of who was the legal man in that match. That's my only thing I was trying to figure out at one point. I was sitting there, I was like, nope. And then, of course, it became, Hangman took off on them, like John said, 5 minutes in. So that happened. And then, that ending kind of questionable. Kind of bummed it ended that way, but shit happens. We just got to wait for World's End now.
Yes, sir. Maybe we've got about 2 more episodes of AEW TV before then. So we'll see how that continues to develop. But I guess if you guys don't really have anything else to say about that closing segment, we can turn around and talk about the opening of the show. AEW Dynamite tonight from Washington, D.C. In a really nice arena. It's a smaller one, but it filled out.
It was full. It was cool.
It filled out really nice. The crowd was great all night long. Loud. It was awesome. And we actually opened up with a lot of segments and promos. And I was like, oh, this is an interesting change of pace. Because it wasn't like 20-minute promo in the ring. It was like open with the video package. And then Will Ospreay and Darby Allin will talk about their match later. And then another video package. And then we got into Mercedes Moné versus Chris Statlander. I didn't necessarily hate it. I don't know if I want to see it. I mean, not Chris Statlander. Chris Statlander was watching. Anna Jay versus Mercedes Moné for the TBS Championship. But yeah, I don't hate that they open this way. I mean, it kind of just feels like the way you open a television show with some introductory stuff. It gives me a couple minutes to catch my breath sometimes I'll turn on Dynamite and I'm like, fuck, I missed the first 3 minutes, and I don't know, I missed something very crucial, but I just got here. So I like having that room to breathe. But we did get right into that TBS Championship match. Mercedes Moné defending her TBS Championship against Anna Jay in a pretty damn fun match. Coming off of last weekend in New Japan Strong, where her and Hazuki had one of the best women's matches of the year. She kind of had some pressure on her to perform and live up to that, not the reputation, but just to live up to the way people were talking about her over the weekend. This is the first time they're going to see her on TV after people were saying all of that. So it had to at least be good, And I thought that they both did what they came to do. Chris Statlander watching, so I'm wondering if we're headed back to Statlander as a contender for Mercedes, and if Chris Statlander is fighting Mercedes for the title again, she should probably be pinning Mercedes Moné, right? Because getting pinned twice is kind of crazy. But essentially, yeah, that was the opening segment, the first 20 or so minutes. Fellas, what did you think of the beginning of AEW Dynamite tonight? We'll go in the same order, Robbie. The wrestling elf.
That was a nice way to open. I am liking the fact that as of late, Mercedes Moné is continuing to improve since getting signed to AEW. And the fact, too, that both those women, they are amazing without a shadow of a doubt. With Anna Jay, who's an up-and-comer, he is also a really good worker ever since coming back from Japan. And you got Moné, who just had a really great win over the weekend, and then coming into that, obviously continue using that bank statement or crossface. I don't know what she's calling it at this point, but keep using that move and keep doing what you need to do. Keep wrestling at this rate. And the fact, too, that they are paving the way to go back to Chris Statlander, that is good because we haven't had really Mercedes Moné rocking to a long-term storyline. If they go ahead and go through with Chris Statlander, because that's been one of the things that even Jim Ross was saying on his show a couple of months ago about Moné, she needs to go into something where fans are going to dig into. And honestly, if they're going to go back to Statlander, I believe that's the way to go because then we're going to get more fan investment into Moné as a character if they keep doing that.
Exactly. Kind of hard to disagree with all of that. Caesar, what did you think of the opening tonight?
So I'm about to put this into a bit of a tailspin, so everyone grab your chairs for 30 seconds. I'm going to go with the easy starting part. Good match. Awesome turnout. People wanted Anna Jay, people wanted Mercedes. Mercedes got the win. Anna is showing more than normal. She actually was doing a lot. I don't know if she's like a special name for them, but like the roundhouse kick she's doing more of those. That was pretty awesome to see. Now, this is the part that's going to freak people out a little bit. So again, grab your chairs. Was that a different Mercedes tonight? Because holy shit, she was throwing down, which is pretty damn impressive. Usually she just does a couple of little things and then goes, okay, I'm out of here. And like you guys were both saying, she actually threw down with Anna, which is awesome. So kudos to her. My only question going forward, if anything, is let's just say Chris pulls off the dub, gets the title at whenever she does. Who would we put against her going forward, I wonder? That's my biggest question.
Yeah, she's got a lot. I mean, the AEW women's division is pretty deep. I think they will be fine in regards to opponents. I guess as a babyface, top babyface, then it becomes what heels do you have for her? Who's going to turn? Which ones do they have already? But that all depends on whether or not she's actually going to win that TBS championship. She is at least staring down Mercedes. I don't know if going right into that is the smartest thing when they've done it so recently and they have so many other girls that Mercedes hasn't wrestled that they could do that with. But maybe this is the start of a multi-woman thing. Maybe next week we'll see someone else watching from the back. We'll see.
Women.
Yeah, we'll see where this goes. We'll definitely see where this goes. So we follow that up. Excuse me, I have to pull up my little notepad, which is not a notepad. It's just actually just Dirt Sheet Radio.
It's a piece of paper on the screen
where I wrote all the recap coverage. So we followed that up with a backstage seg with a promo from FTR pre-taped. They were like, they said that they got beat up and left in the parking lot, not kidnapped, and that they agree with the Death Riders' message, but they don't agree with the way the Death Riders attacked Orange Cassidy and tried to pour chemicals down his throat, which is like Drano, I guess, or something trademarked. And so on January 1st, in their hometown, they will be waiting for a fight, and they won't be alone.
Ooh.
On
Questions?
this day,
Ooh.
I wonder who it could be. Clearly,
Ooh. Ooh.
I've been thinking it was suspicious that they just were okay, because I was like, you guys, no, you got kidnapped. I'm pretty sure they put a bag over your fucking head and stole you. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes, because there have been a lot of chatter around amongst the fan base that FTR might be joining the Death Riders. And now this week, where they're talking about how they actually agree with their message, I'm like, oh, interesting. If they if they all kind of turn and beat down Adam Copeland as like some type of anti-legends in AEW thing, that would be quite the surprise for HBO Max's first simulcast event. But what do you guys think of this FTR thing? And speaking of FTR, join us the end of this week, Jersey Radio, 3NT Wrestling. We will be interviewing Dax Harwood. If you have any questions for Dax, including how'd you guys get out of that damn kidnapping, let us know. Drop them in the comments below. Send them to our inbox. We're going to be talking with Dax Harwood. So that's going to be awesome.
Dax the Axe.
Mac says Robbie looks like the guy on the Pringles can. Understandable.
Thank you, Mac.
Okay. I can see it.
Mr. Pringle? I think it's his
Mr.
name.
Pringle.
I don't know if he has a name. Does he?
Doesn't he? He should. I call him
he has
Mr.
it.
Pringle. Well, we followed that up with MJF in his best Hanukkah suit.
That was
He
pretty
comes-
bitchin', actually.
It was a very nice suit.
Yeah.
He comes out and he's begging the audience to help donate to this poor child, this poor starving child, Adam Cole, starving baby.
Did you hear what Excalibur said about this?
No, I didn't.
He's like, this is obviously an indoctrinated picture of Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Like, no way.
He made him very yellow. He made him really skinny.
Oh my god, that was funny,
Adam
though.
Cole comes on the screen, interrupts the telethon, and basically says he says that at World's End, the Kingdom will be guarding the Dynamite Diamond Ring
Not David.
from MJF, and I'm just like, oh no, that's very telegraphed. No, oh no, I certainly hope the Kingdom doesn't turn on Adam Cole. That would certainly be a surprise. Anyway, Adam Cole tells MJF, actually, I forgot something. Have I started beating you down yet? And it turns out he was in the ring already. So he attacks MJF, takes him out, and finally, I think the first time in a while, stands tall over MJF in this moment. Max says, Matt Taven sighting. I didn't see anybody.
No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Just-
Robbie, what'd you think of the segment?
First of all, Maxwell Jacob Freeman needs an Oscar. It was so well telegraphed that even at one point you can look very closely and you can see the eyes of MJF starting to tear up as he is saying this little promo. And that is one of the reasons why, to me, MJF is the best promo cutter in AEW. He did what he needed to do, and also one of the best heels in AEW. He did the old school way, trashing the Wizards, even though that got over, even with Washington, D.C., even chanting, Wizards suck.
That's
And
basketball, right?
Sitting there, oh yeah, it's basketball, yes.
Yeah, sure.
Over there attacking the kids, sitting there saying that Santa Claus isn't real. Typical MJF stuff that makes you want to hate him, and that's why I love him as a heel.
Yep.
And also with the whole thing with Adam Cole, very well organized by him and the Kingdom. Love the way that this time we're having Adam Cole pull the tricks on MJF instead. But the one thing I just do not get is it's so weird because when this storyline kicked off last year, it seemed like MJF was supposed to be the hero into this whole scenario, and that Adam Cole was the bad guy. And then when Cole comes back, now all of a sudden Cole is the hero. Then MJF is the bad guy. That's one only thing that has kind of been taking me away from the rivalry is always sitting in my mind. I'm like, hey, isn't it MJF supposed to be the one that's supposed to be the hero in this sense after 1 year? Like something just flip flopped on me. It's just so weird. But otherwise, awesome segment. Can't wait for World's End.
Caesar.
When he says the kingdom's guarding, did you guys get a certain kind of sense of maybe he's hinting at something? Like someone coming back?
I
Not saying
mean,
it's big, but
I can't imagine Roddy Strong will show up, but how does that tie into the story? I guess we'll see. There's a lot of it looks like there's room for a lot of twists and turns at the end of this
maybe
MJF Adam Cole thing. I'm personally I'm hoping this is the end of this feud already. I'm very ready for them to move on and do something else. Both of them.
Ooh.
I mean, I don't know,
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
we get
fucking
that.
know.
We get that.
But yeah, Mac. No, that's an old comment. But yeah, we followed that up with. Excuse me, did I lose my place? I did entirely.
Oh,
Oh no.
Yep. I don't know what's going on. I don't even watch wrestling. Yes.
Click.com.
We followed that up with bang a promo video for the return of Kenny Omega
Yes!
to AEW.
Yes!
I know he's in Japan, and I can't wait to see this match on the 5th. But this video did get me excited to see Kenny return home to AEW, All Elite Wrestling, the company named after him and his friends.
Our savior.
I can't fucking wait. I don't know what he's gonna do. Well, he's got some unfinished business to deal with as soon as he
There's not a
arrives.
lot.
So I can't wait for him to deal with. I imagine Jack Perry first, and then
Please.
Kazuchika Okada. It's gonna be incredible. I can't wait. So
And then eventually the Young Bucks.
the Young Bucks. We'll see how that turns out. That's gonna be interesting. But Christian Cage and the Patriarchy, Nick Wayne out there versus Katsuyori Shibata and Hook. Send Hook. This match did what it was meant to do. They came out there, they got their shit in, and they got cheated out of a win
Of
by
course.
Kip Sabian and Captain Charisma himself. Shibata got pinned, I want to say. It was not Hook. So we'll see how. Are they still doing Nick Wayne? Did they mention Nick Wayne versus Hook at all? Because they talked about that being a match before at the Hammerstein.
They were talking about it on commentary. I believe that they did say confirm that it's still this Saturday at the Hammerstein between Hook and Wayne.
Okay, cool. Okay, well that's gonna be great. Nick Wayne was supposed to wrestle in the Hammerstein like 3 years ago, but someone ratted him out to the New York wrestling, the fucking license people, and they had him taken off the card.
Ooh.
So this is his redemption. He's an adult now. You can't take this moment from him. It'll be him versus New York City's own Hook. Legendary Hammerstein Ballroom, my favorite wrestling venue in the world. I love that place. Very special to me. Lots of memories, lots of blackouts and missing memories. It is a fucking it's an incredible place.
He's talking about lights, you guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But what do you guys think of this tag team match?
As what John said, it did what we were supposed to do, which was keep building between Hook and the Patriarchy. Don't know how the hell Shibata comes into all of this besides being an ally to Hook, but otherwise, fantastic match. It did exactly what we needed to do, and that is Christian get one up on Hook to lead into him versus Wayne this weekend, and then definitely seeing more antics at that. Eventually, it's going to build a Christian Cage versus Hook at some point down the line.
Yay.
So it definitely does what it did needed to do overall. Good match, nothing too flashy. It just did what it needed to do. So
Absolutely, Caesar.
My question right now is: has Kip Sabian seen any action since joining Christian? I don't think he has he?
Was
Or am I
he
missing
seeing
something?
any? Was he seeing any before joining Christian? I don't know.
I mean, he saw like one match before Christian or like
Yeah.
Jobber Central, but
Yeah.
that's my question. I was like, I would see him at the ringside just like flexing and posing, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing? But
He's basically taking Luchasaurus's place for now.
he's
But
the cheerleader. I love it. I mean, along with Mob Way, but yeah, I do agree with you guys. Kazuori was kind of just there. It felt like I understand the rest of the three of them in their little triangle of craziness, but I felt bad because like Katsuri was kind of like, "Hey, listen, we need a fourth guy. You're free. Come out to the ring, do the match," kind of thing. So
I guess he does have at least a pre-established connection. They were like traveling together for a while. I forgot like him, Orange Cassidy, and Shibata, right? And they didn't have a name. They were just like friends.
yes,
The friend faction.
bestest friends.
Yeah.
Well, I
So
mean,
we followed that up with this heel loser asshole Ricochet. He comes out here
God.
and he's all fucking happy about this potential Hurt Business collaboration because he had the card. And MVP's like, brother, nobody likes a kiss ass. So they take his card, they rip that shit up. Bobby Lashley grabs him by the fucking throat, and they throw his ass out of the ring.
Ricochet shit his pants.
Ricochet just kind of gets out of there like, okay, I understand. I see what y'all are about. And he goes on to tweet later in the night, like, you see, y'all are getting it wrong. They didn't beat me up. Those are my boys.
Uh-huh.
And on commentary, MVP mentioned, like, we don't hate Ricochet. We just think nobody likes a kiss ass. If he want to join us, he got to go out there and hurt somebody. So that's the beginning of whatever storyline they're about to do with Ricochet and the Hurt Business. If you remember in interviews, MVP has mentioned that when they created the Hurt Business in WWE, he originally wanted Ricochet, and WWE, I guess, said he wasn't available, and so they went with Cedric Alexander instead. And so this is their opportunity to kind of fold Ricochet in the way they originally wanted to, but not. It looks like it won't just be one segment. It'll be a slow burn to whatever ends up of this story, whether he joins or he ends up fighting with them. But it definitely looks like this is the beginning of a full-on program. I think Ricochet is actually playing this part really well because I was like, you fucking little weasel loser. Like, what did you think of this segment before we go into the match that followed? That was kind of tied in, but not really.
when it comes to the segment itself, it was like for me with Ricochet, it's like ever since he came into AEW, they made him feel like he's the next biggest signing that AEW's had in a while. And then somewhere down the line, it just feels like they've been embarrassing Ricochet here and there. Like you've seen it right there with MVP sitting there telling Ricochet, nobody likes to kiss ass. If you want to be on with us, go hurt someone. And it's just so weird. Ricochet has been creatively already in the beginning, as we think, is starting to slowly become in like how he was in WWE. But maybe that's on purpose, and they're just trying to throw us off to make Ricochet into this machine to join the Hurt Syndicate. Because I think that's what they're doing at this point is seeing progression of Ricochet, knowing that his style already is not what is going on, and then that's when Trevor will flip a switch, which we'll talk about most likely later on when we get to it. Because that's what it seems like. It is now slowly starting to make Ricochet into more of an aggressive character as far as what we've been seeing on TV as him being the little weasel.
Yeah, we might as well bring that up now because it's so closely associated to this segment. Just a little while later, Ricochet is backstage and he's approached by Swerve, who's kind of laughing at him, like, "Hey, man, I know you for 14 years, and you same old Trevor you always been. You a follower. When are you gonna break out of that?" And so, yeah, it looks like they're setting up a shift in character here, and we'll see how that turns out. I'm at least excited that Ricochet is involved in something significant. He's involved in what looks like a story with a destination. That's a big that's a big difference from getting beat up or being a supporting character in other people's stories for a long time. So let's see how he carries this. But yeah, you had mentioned Robbie. You had mentioned this segment, so I figured we should bring it up.
And yeah, like you said, like that's what it was with Swerve. When he said that, when you're going to be a follower, well, stop being a follower and break out of your own. That's when I sat there and like, ooh, now this is what's going to get Ricochet the chip on the shoulder that he needs character wise. Because Swerve has known Ricochet for 14 plus years. So when we look at what we're trying to look at here, this is a great way to finally get Ricochet into something that he hasn't been in years. Since he was over there with WWE, as you mentioned, he was just a supportive character in other storylines. Whether it was teaming up with Braun Strowman, whether it was being the guy to put over Gunther on SmackDown for that IC title years back. So seeing that Ricochet is finally going to get that spotlight he deserves, by all means, whatever they can do, just make it good, and we will continue watching. As long as it's going to be great for him and not going to degrade his character like we've seen before. Keep throwing Ricochet into these little moments here.
Caesar.
Part of me feels like I agree with both of you about Ricochet joining at a certain point, whenever that may be. Why do I feel like he's gonna have one of those like proving ground kind of ideas where like he has to beat Shelton first somehow, and then eventually get destroyed by Bobby Lashley, and then somehow the MVP's like, you know what, you stood up to us, you survived, we'll let you try for us or something like that. Like I don't know, like a month or 3 or something like that. Nothing overnight. So I'm just waiting for that to go down. Whatever they decide to do with them, however they decide to do them.
I did think it was funny. Ricochet goes through all that shit. He Swerve kind of talks down on him, and then Ricochet kind of stands up for himself, and then Swerve just goes, "That's why he's still bald." Like,
Yeah.
fuck you,
Shots fired.
fuck you.
He smiled a little bit there too. He smiled a little bit, and then it just immediately dropped after that.
Swerve versus Ricochet is going to be damn good.
It will be.
But yeah, man, we followed that up with a match. I want to say, yeah, we did. Shelton Benjamin
Shelton
versus Beast Mortos, and it was about everything you thought it was going to be. Honestly, when I heard they were going to be wrestling, this is exactly how I envisioned this match. Shelton Benjamin has literally been, no pun intended, the MVP of the damn tournament, and which is a crazy thing to say when this tournament has had the kind of matches that it has, especially the one that follows this. But Shelton just consistently, every match that he has, worth watching. So he does pin Beast Mortos here to keep Beast Mortos at 0. And they beat Beast Mortos' ass after the match. Bobby Lashley, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin jump him. Daniel Garcia comes out. Mark Briscoe comes out. It's still not enough. Shelton Benjamin grabs the TNT Championship and makes his intentions clear. He wants this title too. I want a Continental belt. I want the TNT belt. I want every fucking thing in AEW. What did you guys think?
Definitely that match was as definitely what I wanted out of that. Straight banger, fun stuff there. Shelton Benjamin being a legit athlete. Mortos being that powerhouse as well. It's the fact of the matter is too, we've seen Shelton Benjamin go and toss around Beast Mortos like a sack of potatoes. And the fact of the matter is, Mortos, he ain't no cruiserweight. as well. He's a big dude too, and the fact that those two were basically throwing each other around is exactly what I thought it was going to be, and it was going to be a fight of basically survival of the fittest there. Ben proved that he wanted more, and I want to point out something too, especially on commentary, where MVP basically said, "We've been talking to Shelton. He likes to play with his food." And that was one thing I noticed too was as well as that. But this match here, he didn't play with Mortos at all. He stayed on to the point, stayed aggressive. Shelton Benjamin gets a win. And the one thing I can't wrap my mind around is as on the other side, Commander's won with 0 points.
Mm-hmm.
Now you look at this side. How the hell does Mortos still have 0 points? What is happening there with the character?
Racism. Luchador racism. How come only the luchadors have 0? Huh? I don't like this.
And more importantly, Mortos, who is a legit beast. Like, you can't build a beast as a character and then have him to go through 0 points throughout the whole tournament. It just doesn't make sense.
I don't like the idea that the luchadors in AEW are jobbers. Bullshit. Not a fan of that. It's supposed to be an equal part of the division. But anyway, that was great. And then another Continental Classic match. Will Ospreay versus Darby Allin.
This was
Fuck! No. Fuck! No.
Yeah.
Man.
What can you say?
Where do you even start? You hear Will Ospreay versus Darby Allin first time ever, and it's gonna be on TV, and you're
For
like,
free!
okay, so it's gonna be for free. So I imagine it's gonna be toned down. And so they did not. They went out there and they had the full Ospreay Darby experience. And the crazy thing, I still believe that there's so much more we could get from Will Ospreay and Darby Allin together. I just want to take a look at a couple of things. One was a gnarly ass fucking coffin drop bump Darby did.
We know based on past experience.
That's not going to stop him. No.
Oh, my goodness.
Are you kidding me?
The fucking impact, the sound, the impact sound is nauseating.
We'll
like,
throw up a few times.
Horrifying. But just to kind of give you an example of what this match was like.
He makes the ascent.
Look out now.
Perhaps ready to show. No. Well, he showed why he earned that moniker, Aerial Assassin, the code red. Reverse Darby to his face.
Whoa.
Ospreay scores an emphatic hidden blade.
This is it.
Double underhook. No. Code red.
I love wrestling. I love wrestling so goddamn much. Oh man. This was as close to 5 stars as it gets on television. And then picture perfect finish. Darby Allin reverses the Storm Driver into the Scorpion Death Drop for Papa Sting. Double coffin drops off the top. When Darby went up for the second one, I was like, "No, you fool!" But he hit it, and it was nasty. Like that was like a nasty ass coffin drop, like splat. Like, oh shit. Pins Will Ospreay. 4 men are now tied at 6 points in the Continental Classic in the Gold League. Darby Allin, Claudio Castagnoli, Will Ospreay, and Ricochet. Ricochet and Darby will be fighting each other next week, so that'll break that tie. Claudio Castagnoli will also be fighting Darby Allin. I think Claudio's fighting Darby first. So that's that tie will get broken first. So we'll see this break up really soon. We've also got Brody King against is it Will Ospreay next week.
Ooh.
So Ospreay's either going to go to 9 or Brody's going to catch up with everybody else. And Commander with a big fat donut on the bottom. Unfortunately,
So bad.
it is for now. Hey, that last year was Daniel Garcia. Somebody's got to take the losses. Somebody's got to take the losses. Fellas, talk about this damn match. Will Ospreay, Darby Allin for wrestling.
I'm going to say Will Ospreay and Darby Allin. That match was the best match I have seen on TV, live television, no pay-per-view, in quite a while. I thought Chad Gable and Cody Rhodes had a banger 3 weeks ago. This match right here was a definite Michelin star. Like, when you look at those graphics of Will versus Darby, those going out, the mesh styles, both of them great wrestling technically, both quick, both agile. Will Ospreay having the 40-pound advantage, seeing all those counters in between all flawlessly, the sequences, the Scorpion Death Drop, the double coffin drops, and of course Darby always missing on the apron when it comes to the coffin drop. But tonight it was a little bit worse than ever. But that was such a damn good match. And the fact that I actually had Will going in to win, and it was Darby that got the win, that gave us such sense of unpredictability of who could win this tournament. Because I had Will going all the way. I was ready to see either Will versus Okada once again, or Will versus Kyle too. But now this actually gives me to believe that maybe Darby's going to win this whole damn thing.
That's my pick from the get. I've wanted to see Darby Allin versus Okada in the finals since they announced this damn the final the competitors. That's my that's my ideal finals match. One, it's never before seen. And two, it's just got such big implications. Like, that's a big match. It's gonna be awesome. That's what I want for the finals at World's End. But we will see how that turns out. Caesar?
At one point, it felt like they were trying to outdo each other with some of the stuff they were doing, but it was like done in a way that it wasn't just like, I'm gonna slap the hell out of you. It was like, I'm gonna do this, and if I get countered, I'm gonna do this afterwards. But again, I felt like I should have been paying for this match, watching it, because it was such an intense match. Whether it was, the top rope stuff, just the ground attacks, the Styles clash off the apron. Like, how we're not talking about that?
Oh my God!
That was
Jesus,
the brutal thing.
Did somebody call AJ Styles from 2005 and just?
No, he already got the memo. He got the memo already.
just madness. A wild match all around. It kind of reminds me of all the things I love about AEW. It's just like, man, I love this damn company.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's AEW Dynamite proper in a nutshell, which would bring us to our segments. No Neek, unfortunately, for us, but we'll get him back. Hashtag free Neek.
Hashtag free Neek.
That brings us to our jobbers and megastars of the night. Jobber first. Who did you have as your jobber of this night, Robbie?
I'm gonna go down with Ricochet. Ricochet kind of went down as like a little bitch tonight. The way Bobby grabbed him looked like a little child. Like the way he sat there and just grabbed him fully, and then Ricochet backed down like a big dog, which just barked at him. Ricochet has to be the jobber. He looked very weak tonight.
Yeah. Caesar?
I hate to do this, but it's only because of his record right now in the tournament. Beast Mortos. Like, I don't think he should be at 0. Even like a win. At least a win. I don't know against who, but man, they're doing him dirty in this tournament. And he's a big dude for someone who's just started in the company, like more so rather than just, in Mexico and stuff like that. So hopefully something turns around.
My jobber of the night is going to be Shibata because he was fucking
sitting.
He was just sitting backstage chilling, and they call him up here out of nowhere just to be taking the pitfalls. Like, leave him where he was for all that shit, man. Like, get out of here, motherfuckers. But yeah, megastar of the night, the big boy. I guess we'll do it in reverse because we just did it in one direction. I can't decide if I want to give it to Will Ospreay or Darby Allin.
I'm saying both.
God damn, man. What a match. I love wrestling.
Oh,
That's all I can think when I see it. Like those are the only words. That's my critique. That's my this is what you came for. I love pro wrestling. Robbie, what'd you think? Or Caesar, excuse me.
I'm on the same boat as you. I want to give it to one of them, but I can't, so I'm just giving both. That's
Both these guys.
Yeah,
Both these guys.
There was even a sign tonight too. Someone had.
Hope
And
both
you
of them
know what?
have fun.
We're gonna go for a clean sweep here tonight because I can't.
Yeah!
Because it's honestly Darby and Will just did
Christmas!
so well together that there was no way in hell that anybody topped what they did. Even
Yeah.
in the start, nothing topped it. Those two are megastars tonight for a reason. It's because they
Megastars.
were the best of the nights.
That was
There's no way to choose anybody over either of them, honestly.
how could you?
Hey, listen, this is Dershi Radio's Dynamite post-show recap, but we do this shit every night. We do this all the time. Actually, Dershi Radio has a massive slate of content. Some of the stuff I don't even have graphics for, I realize, that aren't wrestling related. Like, we have 2 weekly shows that aren't even wrestling related, with the Otaku Cafe for the anime fans and Comic Book Click's Major Issue Show, which streams on Dershi Radio and Comic Book Click and is available everywhere podcasts are available for all superhero and comic book fans. That is in addition to our daily post-show streams. Fuck! Every day! Why did I burden myself with this? Dershi Radio on Mondays. Post-show rewind after Raw. Tuesdays after NXT. Wednesdays after Dynamite. Thursdays after Impact. Fridays after SmackDown.
Yeah.
On Sundays, Tyler and CJ are getting their shit together. They'll be back. On Sundays, 3&T Wrestling. They'll be back too. I haven't seen these motherfuckers on Sunday either. But this Friday, you can catch me with the boys from 3&T. And we'll be talking to Dax Harwood from AEW. Thank you to 101.9 KISS FM in North Carolina. Thank you to AEW. Thank you to 3&T Wrestling. Thank you to all of us at Dershi Radio. And thank you to you at home for making this happen. We'll be talking to Dax Harwood this Friday. Also, tonight, Nick is out. And I am also out, so we won't be having a Dershi Radio tonight. But catch us on the post-Christmas episode, the Boxing Day episode of Dershi Radio. You like that one, Caesar? I know you like that one.
Yeah.
The Boxing Day episode of Dershi Radio next week, where myself, Greg, and Nick will recap the last 14 days in professional wrestling news and rumors. Fellas, Robbie, Caesar, you beautiful motherfuckers, thank you for joining us tonight. And you beautiful, beautiful people at home, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you next week. Oh, no, we won't. Next week is Christmas. Happy holidays!
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Yeah!